from terrifying to tragic. We've heard about school shootings and all of those terrifying lockdown drills we do in school. But what actually happens when it goes down? We asked our community to share their scariest school lockdown experiences. Here are 5 stories that will make you never want to go to school ever again. Number 5, the gunshot. It was around late September of 2003. I had just started high school and I was in my AP government class on the 2nd floor. There was a window open because it was such a nice day out. Suddenly, we heard a loud bang from outside. First, everyone thought it was just a car backfiring. Then another loud bang was heard. Some students looked out the window and yelled, "There's a guy with a gun." The next thing we knew, all of the lights turned off and we heard an announcement over the intercom saying that we were going into lockdown. The teacher quickly shut and locked the classroom door and turned off the lights. She also told us to hide under our desks. We were sitting there for a good 15 minutes before the lights came back on. As we were sitting there, someone kept opening and closing the door, making a lot of noise. It was so scary. For what felt like forever, the lights came back on and our teacher went to the door and opened it slowly. She said, "All clear," and we all filed out of the classroom and went to the library. We were told to stay quiet and not ask any questions. And that's when I noticed that my friend was missing. I remember shoving past people in a panic trying to find him. I finally found him hiding under a table in the computer lab on the other side of the school, crying. Apparently, he had barricaded himself in there because he thought the shooter was gone. "Nah, come in and find him." After that incident, there were police cars everywhere, and they even brought in dogs. They ended up finding the shooter who had taken his own life in front of the school. It was really sad. After this, anytime there was a lockdown drill, I would hide under my desk in class and cover my head. I did this until I graduated 4 years later. Now, even if I hear a loud bang, I automatically think the worst. No, for a false alarm. I was in 6th grade, and it was the first lockdown drill we had ever done at this school. It was supposed to be a test to see how well the new intercom system worked. All of the students were sent to the library, and we were told to stay silent. Of course, this was all very exciting, and we were talking in whispers the entire time. About 45 minutes later, we were told to go back to class, and everything was fine. However, I had snuck a small notebook and a pen into the library with me, and I was writing down everything I could remember about the lockdown drill. When my teacher saw me with the book, she took it away and called the vice principal. I was then sent to the principal's office, where I was interrogated for 30 minutes about how I managed to bring a forbidden item into the library and how I was able to write down things I was unsupposed to. I ended up getting suspended for 3 days. To this day, I have no idea why I got suspended. Parents didn't even get contacted or anything. I was just sent home for 3 days without telling anyone why. Number 3, Fight Club. During my first year of high school, there was a fight that broke out between 2 groups of friends. It happened pretty fast, and one kid ended up getting stabbed with a pair of scissors. The next day at school, we were told to stay in our classrooms and not come out. I was wondering what was going on, and then the school made an announcement over the intercom saying that due to an ongoing police investigation, classes would be canceled for the remainder of the day. So we were told to stay in our rooms, but that we could leave if we wanted to. Most of my classmates left, but I decided to stay behind because I was just nosy. As soon as the last teacher left, I went over to the window and peeked out to see what was happening. As I was looking out the window, I saw some kids running across the field, and they were laughing and having fun. And then, suddenly, a police car sped by, almost hitting them, started running, and the cops started chasing them. I ran to tell the other kids, but the bell was about to ring. And as soon as it did, all of the students started coming back into the building. As more and more students entered the school, word spread about what was going on outside. Then all of the students started freaking out. It was total chaos, and we were all yelling and screaming. I looked out the window and saw that the police had set up a perimeter around the school, and they had dogs and everything. We stayed inside the school for hours, and no teachers showed up. Eventually, the police came in and told us that we were free to go. No, to hazmat team. I was in 6th grade, and one of the girls in my math class said that her mom worked in infectious disease research. The teacher was talking about the swine flu that was going around, and she warned the class that if any of us got sick, we should stay home for 2 weeks so we don't infect anyone else. The next day, this girl comes in wearing a hazmat suit and a gas mask and carrying around a backpack filled with medical equipment. She starts setting up in the corner of the classroom, which freaks everyone out. She then takes a chair and sets up in front of the class, with her back to us. She starts talking to the teacher. Soon enough, the vice principal comes in and tells us all to pack up. We're being evacuated from the school and taken to another school across town. On the walk to the other school, we're told that it's a lockdown drill, but everything seems pretty real. Like the police presence is huge. Then we get to the other school, and we're told to sit in the cafeteria until the coast is clear. We spend all day there, and we're given food and everything. Finally, we're allowed to go home. Number 1, Code Red. I was in high school, and my brother was in elementary school. One day, after school, I got a call from my mom saying that my brother's school had gone into Code Red lockdown. She asked if I knew what was going on, but I didn't. She was really worried because my dad was at work and she couldn't pick him up. She tried calling my dad, but he didn't answer his phone. My mom eventually reached my dad, and he said he was on his way to pick my brother up. At this point, my mom was freaking out because she hadn't heard from either of them for almost 2 hours. I told my mom that I would check in with my brother's school to see what was happening. I called the school and they said they were unallowed to give out any information about students over the phone. So I asked to speak to my brother's teacher. Luckily, she picked up and she said that everything was fine. She said they had just been in lockdown for a bomb threat, and it was over now. My mom breathed a sigh of relief and told me to go clean my room because we were going out for ice cream. I hung up the phone and went to my room, and that's when I saw the news on TV. There had been a shooting at my brother's school. Thankfully, my brother and both of my parents were okay, but it really could have been tragic. Do you have a scary school story? Share it with us in the comments. And please subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Bye.